Hey everyone, welcome to Second Sight Tarot, a branch of wellness. I'm here to do the monthly reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of June 2021. I've already meditated on the cards, and please remember that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone, so please take what does and leave the rest. I'm doing the element spread today, current situation, how we can flow through this through intellect and communication, the emotions that you can connect with and or release from this, and the final outcome, or how to flow through the final outcome. I've already pulled a couple of the overall energy of the reading cards. I'll get to them in a second. Let me just pull some more cards first and then we'll get started. Let's move some of these over. These aren't pulling that fast today. Thank you. Ooh. Sagittarius, when I was doing your meditation, I felt a sense of, I don't know, there's a sense, like there's this deep emotion. I felt kind of like an anxiety or like a heaviness. I don't really know what it's attached to. I want to say like just anxiety and heaviness, like stressing a little bit, kind of stress and anxiety. My chest kind of tightened up. My throat kind of closed off a little bit, and I was choking before I started. So I don't know if that's just me or just the energy, but I was meditating on you guys when I started, so I feel like a sense of this energy. I still feel a little bit in my chest here and in my throat. So I don't know if that resonates, but that's kind of what I was feeling. And then just from the cards that I see here, and then you get the moon on the bottom of the deck, which I think is interesting because this is about disillusion, but it's also about intuition, and like maybe fear. It's also feminine energy, so it could definitely be connected to a sense of healing right now for you. And the subconscious mind. So things coming up to the surface, things that were not seen before are becoming seen or clear to you, and that could be causing what's going on. But this is subconscious stuff. And a lot of energy. It could be passionate energy, but it's a lot of, I'll show you the card. It's a lot of intensity, I should say. And that's kind of, I guess this is kind of what I'm feeling. It's like this intense energy in my chest. And it's strong too, so it's interesting. I'm going to pull one more round and then get started. So, current situation. Emotions connect. And outcome, please. Thank you. Bottom of the deck, release. I do feel a sense of needing to release whatever's in there. She's kind of releasing all this stuff in here. Into the moon, actually, which is interesting. And assessing the situation and discernment, which is very interesting because that's exactly kind of what energy that I was feeling here. Really being discerning about information coming into you, making sure that it's your truth, not someone else's. And assessing the situation. I do feel like you're close to coming to like finding clarity on a direction, or to ending something and starting something new here. I kept up the decks that I was using for the overall essence of the reading, and the Death card came up twice, and the Devil. So, which is interesting because I think that it's self-doubt or something that you're not believing in self that's kind of holding the situation back or holding it internal. We'll talk about it. But the Death card is all about transformation, transitioning into something. Something coming to an end. Could be a loss, but it could be also you're choosing to end something too. But so I don't know. I've just been getting a lot of this type of energy in this reading. And the Devil is fear. It could be addiction too, but it could be addiction to emotions or a way of doing something. It doesn't have to be like a physical. I don't know. I just feel like there's something that's holding you back from really moving forward and transform. I feel like there's a worry or an anxiety here. We'll get into it to see if that's even the case. And at the bottom of this deck, you have the Lovers in reverse. So I think there's a sense of disharmony. This could be with a relationship. This could be with yourself, a connection with yourself, your divine self, or a divine union with yourself or someone else, or just something is just off in this. And there's like some kind of disharmony going on. And then the Death card again. So there's, it's interesting. Excuse me. I feel a sense of having something to say, needing to say something, but not being able to say it. Because the whole time I was meditating, I was choking. I don't know if that's me or if that's part of this reading. Excuse me. We'll find out. Okay. Current situation. Or not current situation, sorry, overall essence of the reading. I'll do these too. So you have the Survival card. And I do think this has a lot to do with fear. And always having to feel like you're in survival mode and not like free of... This could be work related, always having to work so hard and just be in that survival mode and not being able to live a comfortable, like, peaceful life because you're always kind of trying to survive all the time and be in a safe space, always creating safety for yourself. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't always go by these cards 100%. Because sometimes they don't attach to the reading at all. But I like to read just in case it resonates with someone. And I think you're very good at survival mode here. But I don't know if there's an essence of just like protecting yourself a little bit more for those of you who need to be a little bit more protected, and or release some of this type of energy and realize that things are okay and that you can come up for air and feel a little safer around your surroundings. I'm not sure. Just reading what the card means to me. That being said, I do think that you are very lucky and you do create abundance around you when your headspace is good. And I don't know why I said that, but I feel strong about that. I said, like, you things just can come very easy to you when your headspace is in the right spot. It's like effortless. I mean, you have to work hard, and you do work hard, but there's a sense of like, it just comes. When you say it's going to come, it comes. So I think that's interesting energy. And then you also have the Hermit. So the Hermit, there's a little sense of introspection here. There's a lot of knowledge being sorted out and learned and or looked at this time. A sense of solitude and enlightenment. I think you're being enlightened by something because you're having this, you're putting yourself in that space to really look at things as they are. And could be isolation too, somewhat, but I don't think that. I think this is more of like really introspecting and getting clarity on things and seeing things as they are. With that, though, comes the Judgment card. And this is a... I don't know if this is what put you in there, into the Hermit, or the Hermit mode, you're just not there yet, but a sense of like having some regret and some shame around something that has happened or things that have happened. Or for some of you, like a lack of self-awareness, like of what's really going on, because you've kind of been, you're so busy or so consumed with something, you're just not looking at what your needs are, or what you need to do, or something that's like in your life that you need to look at. Maybe just inviting you to that. I'm not saying that's where you are, but maybe for some of you just needs to like maybe reconnect with yourself a little bit. And I think the Hermit mode might put you there. This is, to me, is all about coming back to self, you know, and really not blaming yourself for things or having regrets, and realize there are lessons learned, and really bringing some self-awareness back into your life. That's what this is. And like I said, I do think that's connected to the Hermit, of like really bringing yourself into this enlightened stage, and like really having the knowledge, or gaining knowledge about what is really important. And you also have the Nine of Swords. So I think this is where the anxiety comes up, keeping you up at night, having some nightmares or dreams about things that are making you have anxiety or worrying about something. There's some kind of distress happening here. And maybe that's what has caused you to be so detached from your own self-awareness, is because things are kind of replacing that in mind. And I do think that there's a sense of anxiety there, and worry, and keeping yourself up, worrying about something. I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to pull a card. I'm not going to take that. I'm going to shuffle. Nine of Swords, please. Nine of Swords. 3 of them came out. I'm going to read them. So, postponement. Something not maybe happening when you want it to happen, or there's had to be a hold, or like kind of a stop to something for a minute. Interesting. It's also a 4, which is a stability. Maybe you're not feeling stable, or things are too stable, too much like of stagnant, and it's taken your shine away, you know, your color away. It's kind of made it very black and white. So that could be the reason for the Nine of Swords. Also, guidance. It's 3, which is creativity. Could be creativity or lack of creativity here. Maybe some of you are artists. And this anxiety and worry and all this kind of stuff, the stress, is keeping you from really creating stuff. But also, for some of you, she's kind of turning away from this angel or guardian. And I feel like a sense of not seeing or not looking at the way out, or the help that you're getting. Choosing not to see it, not to look at it. But although you are connected to it, and you know it's there, you're just choosing not to participate. And then you have harmony, which is so interesting to me. And maybe this is kind of where you are at in the Hermit mode, of like, I think you see the end result here. You're just maybe not understanding of how to attain it. Maybe, I don't know. I'll get into this as we go along, because we're going to get into like the actual reading. So anyway. So, current situation or true issue, you have freedom, spread your wings. It is time to release some of this stuff and some of the stagnant energy, and kind of just move forward, because there is a big growth period you're having here. And I really think that it's time to fly. It's time to put into action the things that you really wanted to start doing. You have the moon. I love the moon. It's not always doom and gloom. There's a lot of connection to your intuition and to emotions here. There's a lot of depth here. There could be illusions of the way you're seeing things or not seeing things. Something that was you're not aware of is now coming up to the surface, and you're having to see things for what they are. Could be internal, could be from a situation externally. But I think it also could mean fear, of really facing fear, and having visions. Could be dreams too. You're having dreams, and maybe that has something to do with the Nine of Swords, of like some like nightmares, but like really putting together the puzzles of all this information coming into you. Very possible. So, and then you have action, which is a 6, which is all about perseverance or overcoming obstacles. But I do think that these are 2 action cards, and you are ready to just like move and start getting this stuff going and just moving this energy out and really start utilizing your intuition here and coming forth. This is a really powerful reading. It is deep with what's going on here. Ah, that's interesting. Beyond illusion, which is so interesting to me because the card, the moon card is all about illusion too. And then you're actually, so this is telling me is that you're looking beyond this and you're seeing things for what they are, the truth. You're being discerning about it, of course. But I think that's what this is called. And friendliness. I think there's a lot of choices here that you're making. I think that you're choosing to... I've never had this card before. It's interesting. It's just 2 trees. It's pretty. I think you're coming to a crossroads and you're having to make a decision, but you're doing it in the best way, I feel like. I feel like there is a sweetness to it, It kind of doesn't matter what decision you make. It's just making one that is not where you are right now. And there's a path for you on either end. It doesn't matter. It's all going to lead to the same place. It might just have different experiences. So that's what I'm getting from that. And how you can move through this through intellect and communication. You have the Emperor, which is stability, which is because it's a 4. But I think that you're really focused on your growth right now. You're focused on how you articulate it, how you communicate it, how people are communicating back to you. That's a really beautiful energy to have. I think that you're gaining experience here. You're starting to feel confident in yourself. You're starting to take the leadership role in your own life, or it could be work too. And you're finally speaking your truth. Either to yourself inwardly or out to the universe or to people. You're speaking your truth here, and there's a lot of structure. You're creating structure that is working for you in a new way now, and how you process things and how you deliver them. So, and how you perceive things with other people's way of delivering it. May not be the same way you're doing it, but you're understanding it differently now. You're seeing things for what they are and not for the illusion of it. And there's a lot of growth happening. There's a lot of change here for you. I love this depiction of it. It's just having patience with yourself, having, time to really give yourself the space to grow on the pace that you need. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a journey, and really appreciating the journey with your growth, not just waiting for like this destination to happen. I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. A lot of change again. Literally change. There is a lot of change happening here for you. And there's a lot of experience gained, or reconnecting with the experience that you already have on something. And then you have projection. This is interesting that is happening here, because there's a lot of growth within the way that... So this came out for someone in a personal reading, and I really enjoyed it. I love this card. I think it's interesting. So you see 2 faces facing each other, and the projection of those faces are different to the other person of what they really are. So not by a lot, but it's like she's smiling in her projection, but she's not smiling on her person, and he is very soft, and then he has more of an aggressive look on the projection. So this is, to me, saying about, you know, matching your inner and outer. You know, are you releasing or putting out or communicating in a way that is really what is going on inside of you? Is it matching? Are you really seeing people for what they are or who they are, or are you seeing just what is projected to you? So I think there's a discernment here, and there's an understanding, and this is part of the growth and standing in your power and feeling confident, is that you're starting to see through these projections, see through these illusions, and really see things for what they are, not the way they are perceived to be or what they look like. So I think that's a really cool space to be in about all this. It's just a very fresh, very clean energy. I just feel like there's like a sense of like moving forward and kind of walking. I just envision like this walking away from muck, or walking away from like a dark gray cloud into like this open light space. That's kind of what I was feeling with that. And then you have literally the patience card. Long road ahead, rewards await, but it's a process, and you have to be patient. You're going up these stairs, but it's going to take time, and really appreciating and honoring the growth time and the journey, not the destination here. So being patient and staying present, and staying in your skin, you know, as you go through this. How we can move through, or I'm sorry, the emotions that we can release and or bring in from the situation. I'm going to pull a couple of cards, but you have the Path, Speak Up, and the Eight of Pentacles. Emotions to come. Thank you. That's interesting. I never had that card either. So the Path. So in the emotions, I feel like there is a sense of you taking a new path in the way that you perceive them, in the way that you deal with them. But I think there's a sense of either comfortability, contentment where you are and not ready to see, or you just don't see a way into a new path. Like you just may not see these stairs that are going up to this new path for her. So no judgment there. It's just a sense of like maybe bringing into awareness that there's a new opportunity that's awaiting for you to be able to process the emotions and to maybe release some that don't serve you anymore too, by choosing to look at things in a different way or in a different light, a different perspective. And speak up, use your voice to express yourself. I think that the emotions and the communication always interact with each other, obviously, because we communicate our emotions, or we don't. So I think that maybe some things need to be said. You need to release some things here in order to figure out what that path might be like. That freeing space, allow the space to kind of, maybe that's the kind of essence I was getting with like this kind of gray space and then moving into this lightness. It's kind of what I feel here with this. It's like speaking up and releasing this will kind of move you into a lighter space, because you will have released some stagnation or some old things that don't serve you anymore. You're different than you were in the past when you created these emotions, and we just hold on to them until we release them. So I think that might be the case here. And they have the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is all about really feeling like this could be routine, you know, too. Being in a routine and maybe seeing things clearly. And she kind of slow and steady. She's moving with this elegance and grace. She's not in a hurry. And she's taking her time, and she's really being disciplined. I just see you have a sense of discipline here, have a sense of endurance, this stamina, this elegance about your, reliability. I think you're just showing up for yourself, but you're doing it slow and steady. And that's great, because that means that you are in the emotional position anyway. You are respecting and honoring the journey, not just the destination here. And it's going to be a slow moving process, but it's going to be, you're going to show up for yourself. You're reliable, you know, you're going to be able to count on yourself and trust yourself for showing up. So I do think that that's a really good space to be in here, because it does take time to release things. It's not going to happen overnight, but just the fact that you're on this journey and that you have this endurance to do it, you have this will to do it, you should be really proud of yourself, because a lot of people don't get there ever. So be patient with yourself. Know that you're going through really deep growth here, and realize that there's a lot of change, and you're seeing things so differently, and it takes a lot of courage. And this came out. It does take a lot of courage to do what you're doing. So be proud of yourself. Also, you know what else on this courage card? It does take a lot of courage to grow in a very uninhabitable place. This flower is growing in like a rock. That means to me that you literally can move through anything, because what you're doing in the place, that environment that you are in or are in, and you're still moving through this with this elegance and this stamina, you should be really proud of yourself. And honor that you are going through this deep growth period, starting from a really hard place. So congratulations on that. And the mind, this is interesting. This looks like, I don't know, is this the tower for them? I'm not sure. It's really interesting. I'll show you it too, then you'll realize like why I'm. So I just think that this could be the mind, obviously, of you know, a lot going on, very bombarded, very, very filled with shit that we don't need, self-inflicted, self-doing, and just how society works and how the planet works, of how we are bombarded with information and crap that we don't even need. And I think that it's just, I think this is where the anxiety and the worry and all that stuff comes into. It's just overwhelming. It is overwhelming. But for some reason, I just feel like you might have this in moments, but it's up to you if you want to play this way or not. You have the stop button, and it's like this little play button. So that's what makes me feel like that you can stop this by just stopping it. It's interesting. And then how you can move through this or flow to the outcome. Sorry, I'm looking at a bug on the wall and I'm freaking out. She's tiny, but she's coming closer and closer to me. I won't kill her, don't worry. I don't kill buggies, but I don't know how I'm going to get her out. Interesting. Okay. So you have the resilience card. I'm going to pull a couple clarifiers. Transformation. We'll do one more. Oh no, I don't see her. It's just like the littlest bug. Why do we make such a big deal out of it? Anyway. I just don't want her to come to me, you know what I'm saying? No, because I'm stuck here doing this. I can't move. Okay, so resilience. This is also 3, which is creativity. So I feel like this card, yes, you have this resilience and you are super strong and you can literally deal with anything and hold on to anything and like accomplish anything. And you can take a lot, but at the same time, and this is all your life lessons and all of everything you've learned in your life, you know? But what I'm feeling here is that, you know, it's getting heavy, and why? Why do we have to hold on that stuff? Like maybe sorting out some things and not taking everything with you on this new journey. You know, it's okay to put some lessons down or some knowledge down and like make space for something new. It doesn't have to be held all like this, you know? Really trusting. There's another 5, 2 and a 3 is 5, and trusting, the process, trusting the change, trusting that you're supported and that you're cared for, whether it's from yourself or someone else or your tribe. And this is a huge deep healing for you. Allow light to enter into your wounds. Like, you are really going through this major growth and healing. And it's really important to trust this and to nurture yourself and to know that you've got this. And you have transformation. I mean, it's literally all change and shifting and growing and transforming into something new. Every single one of these things. You also have the Judgment card. And this is all about having confidence here and like really honoring the balance that is coming into your life now. You know, it's responsibility. You know, it's this wisdom, this inner wisdom that you have now, this knowledge that you've attained. And you're doing it in fairness for everything and everyone around you, including yourself. But I do see that there is the action, all actions have a consequence. And I feel like you're playing the game right now, you know, in this outcome, like, because you're going through this transformation and all that, like, you know, your actions have consequences and you're keeping it fair and you're keeping it balanced and structured and you're holding on to that wisdom and responsibility for yourself and for others around you. So I think this is really, really beautiful energy. I love this kind of energy for the outcome. I think this is a really beautiful journey. Let's pull one more. And look for that bug. Oh, there she is. Okay. As long as I can see her. It is going to be hard work for you. It is hard work to transform and to, you know, to shift and to really work through heavy stuff like this. But also bees are resilient and they work in a hive. So always know that you don't have to do it alone and you're not alone. You have your guides, you know, your whoever you believe in. And you have the people around you. You don't have to do it alone. Find a group, find something that can help you if you need that extra help. One more. The Voice and the Void. I think this is also like, this can mean a couple things for me. I think that it could be not choosing to see other things right now and really focusing in on what's going on. Or it could be closing your eyes and kind of going within, you know, to do some inner work, some shadow work, which is part of this game too. I think that you are doing that already throughout this whole thing. And the voice, this is listening. A lot of times this comes up in the, you know, communication position, but this is listening without speaking, really hearing people for what they're saying and you being heard. Really having people look at, you know, listen to you fully with being heard. But this is listening to what's coming in, information, guidance, just knowledge coming in from other people, and just really listening to the deep meaning behind all things, not just what they're saying, but like really being discerning about, you know, really taking it in, because there's some really important growth, like information here that is really going to help you in your growth. If you can hear it, you know, this is not only about speaking, but hearing it. So I'm going to pull some self-care cards and send you on your way and look for the bug. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. I really don't care, but I just want to know where she is. Go do a shuffle. I don't feel like it's coming yet. Wanting to do it. I have to shuffle these. Just don't feel like they're coming out right. There we go. One more. Patience, right? There we go. It's for Sagittarius, June 2021. Intuition. I know, because you have the moon like 100 times in your reading. I'm not surprised. Beauty ritual. I think this is just nurturing yourself, maybe painting your nails, just feeling good about yourself, making yourself look beautiful or feel beautiful, not look beautiful, but feel beautiful. Intuition. This is also a 10. It's also reaching a goal or, completing something. So I do think that this will come full circle for you. A couple more, please. Abundance planning. I do think you have abundance. We said this in the beginning. You have lots of luck. And I think it's because when you put your mind to it, you create abundance. So maybe writing down the things that you really want to attain will create abundance because you have a lot of luck on your side. One more, and then I'll send you on your way. Ooh. Nourish your temple. Yeah, it's really important to do that, especially during a healing time like this. And connect with your ancestors. And connect with your womb, which I saw when we were doing this. So I just think it's nurturing yourself and going within and really being in your space and loving your body unconditionally. Nourishing your temple. I think it's just like eating well, thinking well, speaking well, all around. So Sagittarius, I hope that you resonated with this reading. If you like this reading and you like the way that I read, if you can like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate the support. I hope you have a really great whole month of June. I hope it's really transformative for you. And I will see you in July. Please take care of yourself, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.